afternoon, outliers. Welcome to the decision desk, where a decision has been made. The man himself, Donald Trump, shall be the 47th president of the United States of America. I gotta tell you, I was having a really good time watching that last night. My family, we all went out and got McDonald's, which I don't eat McDonald's, so this is the first time in years I've eaten it. To celebrate, right? We were gathered around the pile of cheeseburgers watching as Donald Trump took state by state by state. And then my kids got bored with it, so they went upstairs, and my wife and I were watching, and I'd yell up to the kids. I'd be like, we just got 111 111 points is what I was calling for them. We just got 111 points. And they were like, yay. And then I went back and forth several times. But I got to say, when I went to bed at around 10 o'clock Central Time, I was really excited, right? I think he was at like 220, 230 by then. And I'm like, oh, we're so close. If he just gets Georgia and Pennsylvania, it's over, literally over. And I woke up at 3 this morning, checked my phone, and I'm like, oh, praise Jesus. Thank you, Lord God above, that we have Donald Trump as to be the next president of the United States of America. So really, really stoked to get that. And of course, I have donned my most patriotic apparel for such an occasion. Good to see you, Dave. Good afternoon. What an amazing day it has been for sure. Wes, it is a beautiful morning. Randy, good to see you. What a rally. Goran says, congratulations on Trump. Mikey Mike, good to see you. Goran says, Serbia also loves Trump. Well, Serbia is pretty outstanding in my books. Tug says, amazing day. The grass is greener, the sky is bluer, the songbirds are singing hallelujah. Yeah, in fact, when I was dropping my son off at middle school this morning, he's like, oh, why is the sun so bright this morning? I didn't tell him at the time, but it was Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump looking down upon us. Mike says, dang, or Dave, just got your journal delivered, and this thing is hot off the press. Way to go, Dave. We'll be covering that in the member highlight. Jean-Louis here, good to see you. I just saw that. Happy you like it. Means a lot. Leave a review if you can. Sebastian. Hey, y'all. Trump won. Sebastian is a brother from another mother across the Atlantic over there in Germany. But I know that he also is feeling excited that Trump won. It's better for literally the entire world. But you know what else? Somebody's got a little egg on her face this morning whenever she said this.
Should never again stand behind the seal of the President of the United States. Never again. Never again. Never again.
3 days later.
Oh, here we go.
NBC News can now project that Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin, which means he is the winner of this race and will return to the White House as this country's 47th president.
There we go. Yeah, I gotta say, the fact that she didn't have her resignation speech last night, hasn't addressed anyone as of right now, really shows to her character, right? I didn't even know if she wanted to do it in the first place. They just thrust her upon it. And now look at her. She's toast. I was telling my wife last night, I was like, I hope that I never have to say Kamala Harris, Kamala Harris, or Camel Face ever again. I'm done with her. Get on with our lives and get on with Donald Trump. Donna, good to see you. It is a good afternoon. Mikey Mike, where can I get that shirt? Okay, so we don't officially sell merch, but I do give things away. So there's a chance, Mikey Mike, that you might get one of these for free one day. But as of right now, we don't sell any merch. We just do these print on demand type things. Michael says, I hate to say it because I like to keep it on the high road, but she looks and sounds like a little kid with that rant, and that jacket doesn't even fit. Sebastian, she doesn't even know how to lose. Hey, Peter. All right, let's continue on here.
So as you may know, Donald Trump is the 47th president. That was called last night in short order. He finished off Kamala Harris. And as a result, MSNBC, they are losing their mind as expected. So we're going to look at some of the meltdowns. We're going to talk about the lies, of course. And I think the best place to start is to hear them lose all their energy when Jen Psaki had to announce that he was going to be the next president. Watch.
NBC News can now project that Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin, which means he is the winner of this race and will return to the White House as this country's 47th president. And for so many of you watching right now, that news is, to say the least, a lot to digest. I understand that personally. After he lost 4 years ago, he refused to accept the outcome and incited a violent insurrection on our nation's capital. He's campaigned while facing criminal indictments related to his efforts to overturn the 2020 results, and he's run as a convicted felon. During this campaign,
and he's run as a convicted felon. I was scrubbing the video. I was trying to find there was this thing with Jake Tapper. I don't know if any search terms would pick it up just yet because it's so hot and fresh. But last night he asked, he was on CNN. He asked somebody, he was like, how many counties has Kamala Harris outperformed Joe Biden? And they go clicking on the map. And it was none, literally none. And the other guy goes, looks like none. And he goes, literally nothing. And the other guy goes, literally nothing. So she didn't outperform Joe Biden anywhere in the world last night. So that was pretty awesome. Dave says, if they considered selling them, I love one of those hats. Very cool, very cool. I mean, we actually, tell you what, I'll show you what we've been working on. A lot of this, funny story. I asked Rudes, she's our editor and graphic designer, to make me some things. And I'll show you everything she's made. Got a folder where it's all at. So yeah, we got some t-shirts. This is that nice tech material. I mean, you guys have seen the one with the giant OVTLYR flag on the front, but a little bit different where it's off to the side there. And then a little OVTLYR logo. Mahesh did ask me if we had a place to sell these yet. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I hadn't planned on selling them. Here's a nice Columbia jacket with an OVTLYR logo on it. And then a little OVTLYR flag logo on it. I'll be ordering one of those. Here's literally the shirt that I'm wearing right now. You tell me, who wore it better? Who wore it better? That guy? That guy? Or this guy? Or this guy? Who wore it better? I don't know. You tell me. All right, let's keep going here. Then the OVTLYR hat, right? And then this was one I was trying to do for fun. I know polo shirts with like fun patterns are in right now, so I was trying to come up with something like that. So that's little OVTLYR logos all over it. So if you guys are interested, I mean, we could probably put up a store, probably charge it to you at cost. Oh, here's a backpack. I have a 10-minute stock trader backpack. That I take to the gym every day. And I was thinking, man, it'd be nice to have a nice new OVTLYR backpack. That would be fun. So that's what that is. Let's get back over to the chat here. Brandy says, I was at a celebration party wearing my Let's Go Brandon shirt. That's fun. Brian, good to see you. When is Pelosi going to code out and apologize for her stupidity and having to withdraw Joe from the election? I think we are going to see quite a lot. I think we're going to see a lot of finger pointing here in the next few weeks. They got until basically January 20th, right, to get it all off their chests and say, it's not my fault, it's your fault that we lost. We'll see. Jeremy, any trading today? Unlikely. Unlikely. And I'll explain why. Michael says, the Second Amendment is safe. Good thing. Chris has got the gun. Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Peter, as a guy, I don't choose between guys. Sorry. All right, we'll watch another couple minutes of this, and we'll get to trading.
He has also promised to essentially be an authoritarian leader, to use power like no American president.
He has pledged to be an authoritarian leader. All right, Jeremy, see you later, my dude.
Ever has before, and wield that power to go after his political enemies. This is a man who's also bragged about overturning Roe v. Wade and stripping away women's bodily autonomy. He's promised to conduct mass deportations to crack down on the rights of millions of Americans. Donald Trump is an anti-democratic force, but he's just
anti-democratic force.
Been elected democratically in our country. And here's what might be the hardest part to hear, but we have to talk about and we have to say, and it is a hard part to digest for all of us. But we have to be honest about what we saw in this election. Donald Trump was elected by expanding his support over a number of key groups.
Yeah, talk about low energy.
Yeah, he was elected by expanding his support, right? All the people that you guys alienated, all the people that the Democrats decided to target people like myself, right? Immutable characteristics like the color of my skin and my gender, which I don't know if you could tell. I probably should put this out there. I am a man and I use he, him pronouns. Who would have thought, right? But because of my skin color and because of that, I am the enemy to these people. I am the problem. And there's a whole lot of people like me who said, what did I do? Right? I'm just minding my own business. How did I become a toxic man? Right? How did I become the patriarchy? Well, I'm just living my life. And now you want to do everything to turn everybody against me and make everything about skin color and race and gender and everything else. This is why you lost so many people. I heard somebody say on one of the videos that I was watching, they were like, this is the normie revolution, right? The people who didn't have pronouns, right? Or weird pronouns or whatever pronouns. The people who didn't have pronouns came out and voted. The people who are just normal men and women, right? Just doing their daily lives, trying to survive, trying to thrive in the United States of America, the greatest country in the world. I apologize to everybody else. But why did you decide to target all of us normies and drive away a huge amount of votes? I mean, the normie revolution just happened. We will have fun, Jeremy. See you tomorrow. There's a chance we'll be trading tomorrow. We'll see. So when is moving day for all those celebrities who said they'd move out if he was elected? Can't come soon enough. Can't come soon enough. All right, let's jump into our market analysis and get busy here. Okie dokie. Let's click around a couple more times. Got it. All right, welcome to the OVTLYR Trading Room. This is smart trading made simple. This is where we save time, make money, and start winning with less risk together as a team. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Christopher Uhl. I've twice been awarded top 100 people in finance. I've been successfully trading since 2009. I'm a partner with OVTLYR, and this is my style of trading using the OVTLYR data. And I call it the golden ticket trading strategy. Now, how does OVTLYR work? It's a 4-step process. OVTLYR monitors how investors are reacting to changing market conditions, news, price movements, and the economy. OVTLYR determines if investors are acting irrationally fearful or greedy. I think there's a lot of irrational greed right now in the market. And by how much. OVTLYR gives buy and sell signals when these irrational behaviors reach an extreme. And number 4, allowing you to get into the stock before the OVTLYR move happens. So let's jump into today's member highlight. All right, so there's quite a lot to catch up on in the Discord. So let me start at the top here. Talked about Mikey Mike yesterday. Okay. Mikey Mike said, the learning curve is brutal. You might as well have been speaking Swahili to me in your response, because yesterday I talked about covered calls. And I said, I remember the first time I ever saw an options chain. I'll share the story with you tomorrow. But basically, I was a deer in the headlights. So I'll share the story with you real quick. Hang on. I need a prop for this. So a lot of y'all know the story, but let me get it real quick. No, not that one. There it is. And we're going to teleport right back to the election headquarters real quick. There we go. All right. So, I guess it was around 2009. I was working in the office, and I overheard somebody say to another colleague of mine, they said, if you feel so strongly about Deutsche Bank going down, why don't you go buy puts on it? And my ears picked up, and I was like, puts? It has been a long time since I heard that word. What are puts again? Let me go check in my textbooks. Now, it's one of those nerds that kept all of my textbooks from college. So over on my desk, I had this book, Foundations of Financial Management. And inside, there's 600 something pages. I believe we saw this before. And it's one of these books where, you set it down on the desk and everything shakes, right? And it's so funny because I remember when I grabbed this book and I looked at it, there are 2 tabs and they're still there. One says options and one says bonds. And so I was like, well, that's candy. Let me go to that real quick. And I go to page 571. and it says, basically the price of a put goes up in value as the price of the underlying asset goes down. And I was like, huh. I got a little note on here. It says call equals buy, put equals sell. I was like, well, that sure was handy. I'm glad Chris from 10 years ago needed to put that one note in there in the entire book. And then I was like, okay, well, let me go look at the options chains real quick. And I go over to Yahoo Finance. I just type in, options chain. And I'll never forget this. It was like, give me a second here. I'll log in Tastyworks for example. Because when I got to the page, it wasn't what I expected, right? And I don't really know what I expected options to look like. But when I got there and I saw basically a loading screen. Come on, my dramatic effect is not working when you go this slow. There we go. I got there and I saw basically everything popped open and I was like, oh, this is literally the thought that ran through my head, and I'll never forget it. I thought, I don't know what all these numbers mean. I just want to make money. I don't know what all these numbers mean. I just want to make money. So then that was the catalyst to get me started in trading. I mean, I always had an interest in the markets, but that moment on that day was like, that was the fire, right? So, dude, Mikey Mike, I totally get it. There is absolutely a learning curve that goes with it. But you know what? It's going to be the most lucrative, worth your time learning curve that you're ever going to have. So I'm super stoked you're here. All right, let's continue on the Discord. And then this morning, 5:41, I rolled over and I was like, I'm just going to throw a little Trump emoji in the chat. Oh, no, hope y'all didn't mind. Dave says today's a great day. The pre-market's absolutely loving it. Everything's up across the board. Michael says, I have to say, a little hesitant to jump in, but I love the large uptick and for what it's done on my credit spreads. Closing out with over 95% premium captured. Oh, did I put this in the share the big wins? No, but he did add some other stuff. We'll go there in a minute. Michael also said, if you have time today, can you reiterate the reason why we wait until the end of day? Absolutely. So if you remember yesterday in New Trader, Rich Trader, that was one of the things. So we're going through the New Trader, Rich Trader book. I remember seeing that just yesterday. Can I search through this? I can't. End of the day. So he talks about here using end of day signals instead of day trading. Often the best exits to lock in profits are at the open. Of course, if you want to trade at the open, he's saying that's a great time to lock in profits. I could have swore we talked about that yesterday, but I'll show you why on a chart we do that. What chapter are we on? We're on chapter 8 today. Give me just a second. Okay, but let's go look at like a 5-minute chart, right? Looking at the SPY 5-minute chart and zoom out. You can see at the bottom down here, these, what do I call this? Those bar charts down there. Every single day, the liquidity is in the morning or it's in the afternoon. Okay, so that's today. That's yesterday. That's the day before, right? It's basically a U shape every day, where the liquidity is early in the morning, the first 15 minutes or so, and then the last half hour, hour to half hour right there. And it's every day. Every day. Now, one other reason that I like to wait until the end of the day is because I like to do my back testing. I like to do my analysis on the full candle, right? And let's say if I get out at 11:35 in the morning, where on this candle is 11:35? I don't actually have any idea where that's going to be, right? So by working at the end of the day, I can always tell on the candle, oh, this is where I got in, this is where I got out. But most over everything is liquidity. because you've got to be able to get in and out of a trade, right? If there's any reason to trade at the end of the day, it's because everybody else is trading at the end of the day, right? You're working with the hedge funds, you're working with the asset managers, you're working with institutions, you're working with retirement funds, right? Everybody who is in the market that has big money to spend goes at the end of the day, the end of the trading day. And pretty much everyone across the United States, all the time zones, are trading around the same time. Whereas the people in California may not necessarily be able to trade at market open. A market open has so much volatility where the close of the market's basically everybody setting in from the data that they've got during the day. So multiple reasons, but in my opinion, that is the best time to trade for those reasons. And you can absolutely, for sure, trade any time of the day that you feel more comfortable with doing. Brian says, so you're saying you have a new perspective based on you being targeted? Am I being targeted? I don't want to be targeted. Is Robert De Niro leaving the country? I don't know. I almost went long NASDAQ as he won Michigan, but I chickened out. Randy, I debated shorting gold last night and should have. Same thing, chickened out. Listen, don't trade these markets, okay? Don't do that, right? Did they fit your trading plan? I'm going to bet they didn't. I'm going to bet they were an impulsive trade. And who's to say that impulsive trade would have worked out, right? Just as likely that it could have gone the other direction. And then you've been really pissed. You've been ultra pissed. Yes, gold did actually fit his trading plan, he says. Okay, well, in that case, you should have taken it, Dave. All right, so let's go back over here. Oh, no trades today. No trades today. Sorry, just saw that. Michael says, bye, bye, bye. A lizard brain today. Tug got a copy of Dave's journal. That's exciting. And talking about a couple different things. Then the share your big wins. Michael says, my success for the week, we're all winners this week. And by getting Dave's trading journal, for sure. Great win in the market. Entered a bull put spread on Monday on NVIDIA. And so Dave did really good on NVIDIA. 89% in 2 days. Outstanding. Yep. Impulsive trade. No impulsive trades. So lots going on in the Discord. Really excited that you guys are out there and really excited to see you guys supporting each other, right? This is really cool where we're asking each other questions in the chat, answering each other's questions in the chat. And of course, being supportive to Dave and everyone else in their own endeavors as well. Mikey Mike just ordered the journal this morning. Super cool. All right, like I say, please continue to be awesome in the Discord. And don't forget the first rule of OVTLYR, you should tell everybody about OVTLYR and hit the like button. I know you're already subscribed, but this tells everybody else on YouTube about OVTLYR as well. So let's go to the market. What I want to see is a 10 over the 20, price over the 50. Now, I did not short this market. I did not have setups to short this market. And if you had been short this market, you would be really pissed today and you'd have a lot less money in your account. Why didn't I short this market? I didn't have the 10 over 20 cross down. Even though price closed under the 50, the 10 and 20 were not crossed down. By the time the 10 and 20 crossed down, which was on the 4th, so Monday, it had closed back above the 50. We got a sell signal on the SPY. We had a sell signal on market breadth. But then, like I said yesterday, we looked like we had a reversal off the 50 EMA and then rocket ships, right? The market tells you where it's going, okay? You may not get the top. You may not get the bottom. But you can see in general where it's going if you just pay attention, right? The efficient market theory is total bullshit. I'm just putting that out there. It's not real because they'll tell you that trends can't exist. The efficient market theory says a trend like this, it's impossible, right? But we know that that's not true. We've seen it, we trade it, okay? The efficient market theory is a theory. Now, when I say the market tells you where it's going, it never confirmed a trend until actually yesterday. yesterday when it closed above the 10 EMA, that's pretty much the trend reversal back north. And then that's what happened right here. But we still have a sell signal on the SPY. Let's go take a look at the SPY's outlier data real quick, because I'm very curious. We mentioned yesterday how the price trajectory oscillator was pointing down, the heat map was pointing down. I'm curious to see what it shows today. And it may take another day to really process this big move. Yeah, the trajectory is still pointing down. The heat map is still pointing down. So I would imagine tomorrow it'll show a big difference right there. And then we zoom in on market breadth. What do you know? We have a crossover on market breadth. So we're getting close to getting ready to go long. We didn't go short. Haven't gone short all year, actually. But the SPY signal is in sell state right now. Market trend is bullish. Market breadth is now bullish as of today. So we get the SPY signal in a buy state, which I don't know when it could be. It could be really quick. It might be a while. I don't know. But I'm going to wait on the sidelines, right? And as Mark says, wait in cash for proper setups. How long? As long as it takes, right? The market's always going to be there, okay? You don't have to jump in on the one day it pops up like this, right? If your signals aren't there, then don't stress about it. Just wait for your signals to show. And then look at this. It just like that order block disappeared. It never even had a chance. We'll catch up on the chat and then we'll jump right into New Trader, Rich Trader some more. Mikey Mike says, oh, that's right. He ordered his book this morning. Thank you, Mikey Mike. Great chatting. Awesome. Oh, yeah. Dave sent me this funny meme real quick. Dave said, meet Nacho. Nacho 47th president. I thought that was really good, Dave. Thank you. All right. Let's jump into New Trader, Rich Trader. As I mentioned a little bit ago, this is one of my top 5 favorite trading books. And in the times when I'm not trading, I think it is our best interest, all of our best interest, to go through and learn some things about New Trader and Rich Trader. If you haven't got a copy of this, it's probably $8 on Amazon. Totally worth your time to go grab. And the highlights on here are actually the very first time that I read it back years ago when I started working with Steve. Sebastian says, FYI, while Trump won the USA government, in Germany is imploding. I want Donald Trump in Germany too. Oh man, I know Germany was having problems. Don't forget, Sebastian is hosting us at next year's Oktoberfest for our first annual OVTLYR convention over there. So let's go to chapter 8. It says, for new traders, large profits are the #1 priority. For rich traders, managing risk is the #1 priority. Didn't it say it in chapter 7? Oh, no. It didn't. It was similar, but different. All right. First, you have to control. Wait, no. First, you have the risk that your trade will be a loss. Before you put on a trade, you've got to understand, right? Even with an 81.8% win rate, I know that any trade can be a loss. Any trade. And that's one thing that I really like to stress is that your last trade could be a winner. Your next trade could be a winner. But this trade that you're on right now is completely separate from those two events, right? The trade that you put on earlier and the trade you're going to put on next do not have any impact on this exact trade. They are completely independent circumstances from each other, right? So you need to treat them that way. Every trade you put on has the ability to be a winner, and it absolutely has the ability to be a loser. You don't know in what sequence you're going to have these winners or losers. So you can't just bet the farm. You can't go Lambos or food stamps, because any one trade could be the one where you get the food stamps. And I don't want that for you. You have the risk that your trade will be a loss and that it will move in the opposite direction of your long or short position. This is your standard trade risk. However, you can typically control the maximum amount you lose through position size and a stop loss. That's what I said. Every trade that you put on 2 risk parameters here, right? Your position size saying, I will not put on more than X% of my account at risk. And then your stop loss saying, even if I put it on, I'm still going to get out at this in the market, right? Putting those 2 on is what keeps you in the game. Everyone wants to talk about the winners, but nobody wants to talk about the losers. And the losers How you handle the losers are the way you either become insanely wealthy in the market or you become completely broke from the market. It's not how you handle the winners, it's how you handle the losers. You also have the general market risk factor, which is why I always start with the market, right? Always start with the market because the market's going to tell you which way it's going. I'm glad that we had that discussion just a couple minutes ago because the market will tell you, right? The general market factor. I have made the mistake, and it's cost me a lot of money trying to go short while the market's going long. I've also made the mistake of trying to go long while the market's going south. Don't fight the market. Just ride with it, right? A surfer doesn't get on the surfboard and then go against the waves. The surfer gets on the surfboard and lets the waves push him forward. That's the way you need to view your trades, right? You're just going out to the market and letting the market push you. That makes it way easier. You can pick the stock of an amazing company, but if the trend of the market itself is down, then it's likely your stock will also fall. Regardless of fundamental merits of the company or the past strength of your stock's price movement, nothing is guaranteed. The market is like a tide that comes in, it lifts up all ships, and then when it goes out, it lowers them back down. I heard the phrase that I like to repeat this phrase: a rising tide lifts all ships, but a falling tide shows who's swimming naked. You can make twice as much profit when you're right. Oh, what's it say? Oh, penny stocks here. Risky penny stocks and small caps are not marginable. Hang on. It's talking about different margin risk. You can make twice as much profit by using margin, but you can lose twice as much if you're wrong. This increases your risk of ruin by making your losses compound twice as fast. Ain't nobody want that. Okay, here we go. Here are some simple suggestions to help lower your risk when you trade. Some of these you probably have heard before. Ready? Quite a long list here. Let's see, like a whole page worth. Determine your stop loss before placing a trade. Honor your stop and cut your loss. Balance your wins and losses by trading the same position size in capital on every trade. All of this should sound familiar. All of this is what we do on a daily basis. When we position size in capital on every trade can be determined by the ATR, right? Because the ATR is going to put the same equivalent risk on two very different stocks. Only make trades that meet the criteria of your predetermined trading plan, Randy, Dave, and everyone else. Trade primarily long in uptrending bullish markets and mostly short in downtrending bearish markets. Or go to cash. A 10-day moving average over the 50-day moving average is a good sign of an uptrend, and the reverse is a sign of potential bearishness. Only use margin to trade more trades of equal size. You won't typically have to wait 3 days for your trade to clear to get your buying power back, and you can keep trading after all trades are closed. Don't use margin to make one large trade, but instead use it to create a quicker turnaround for all of your capital. Only trade in stocks with over 1 million or more shares traded daily. That sounds familiar. Only trade options of open interest of over 1,000 contracts. We don't always see that. My rule is 250. Now, I got that. I forget where I got it from exactly. I think I got it from an options course I took with Ally Financial. They had an options broker at one point. I can't remember what it was. But it was this course that I was reading through on there, and it was like make sure that the open interest on your the open interest on the strike that you're looking to trade is at least 4 times as big as what you're going to trade. So I'm like, well, if I'm trading 60 contracts, 4 times that size is 240. Okay, I'll deal with that. So 250 has always been my go-to from that point. You can avoid overnight risk as a day trader, but the most profitable traders carry trades for weeks or months. You can mitigate overnight risk by going to cash when an announcement, like earnings or the elections, is to be delivered after hours. Manage volatility risk by trading slow, dependable stocks which have consistent daily ranges. So he didn't use ATR in this example here, but that's what we do with ATR, right? We establish how much volatility risk they have. A stock with a beta of 1.0 moves the same as the S&P 500. A stock with a beta of 2.0 moves twice as fast as the index. You want to trade lower beta stocks to manage volatility or position size based on ATR. You don't need a volatile stock to make money. You need a stock that's either in a trend or in a price range with support and resistance levels, which in that case, we'd use as order blocks. You can control, political risk by trading stocks that do most of their business in countries with historically stable governments, such as the US, UK, Canada, Japan, and rather than emerging markets. I tell you what, now that Donald Trump's going to be president for the 47th time, businesses in countries with historical stable governments, I'm so glad that we're going to be a stable government again. You can limit the risk of time decay. Ooh, wait for this. You're going to love this one. You can limit the risk of time decay with options by trading deep in the money calls and puts. Most of these are pure intrinsic value and have little time value, if any. So even though they may cost more, you eliminate the risk of time running out before they go in the money. Huh. Isn't it so weird to see all the stuff that I trade around in this book, like written on paper that was done? Geez, what year was this published? Let me see. 2017. This must have been like a second edition. Oh yeah, new edition. This new edition. The classic just got better. Yeah. And it's pretty obvious that I worked with Steve. All right. Remember to double check trade information before you hit enter. I've accidentally traded 10,000 shares instead of 1,000. You have seen me sell a call when I meant to buy a call, right? That was not all that long ago. And I was like struggling. I was trying to get out and I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on? And I'm like, how did I get short this? And just going back and forth. And then I was like, I have to get out of this immediately. I never wanted to be in that trade at all. But that does happen, right? Trading errors do happen, right? He's saying take a second to just double check. Have a plan B for your broker and internet connection. I always keep my broker's number as a favorite on my cell phone. As you've heard, I have had to call Tastyworks at least 3 times this year, and I've spoken to a person within just a couple of minutes, which is great. And I've set up a hotspot so I can get online quickly if my home network ever goes down. On that topic, if you trade on your PC, download your broker app to your phone. That way, if your PC ever goes down, right, if your Wi-Fi ever goes down, you can still use your phone internet and your phone app to get the trades placed, right? Because there are days where you're like, I have to get out of this trade. Rich Trader's tip. I never want to lose more than 1% of my account in any trade. If I'm trading with a $100,000 account, I don't want to lose more than $1,000 on a single trade. A stop loss level should start at a price level you know that you will be proven wrong and then work back to position sizing. This I like because the way that I like to trade this, right? Like, let's say, for example, if I was going to get into the market right now, I like to put a half ATR value. So if I look down here at the ATR value, the average true range over the last 14 days is 6.38. So 6.38 divided by 2 is $3.19. So I'm giving it $3.19 to prove if this trade is going to work. And on a $500 stock, nearly $600 stock, that's not very much. But that's what he's saying here is that get out, put your exit position at a level that proves the trade isn't working. Not at an arbitrary level, not at a place where you feel good about it. But listen, if it's not going to go up in ATR, but if it goes down half an average true range and it starts to set a new range lower than the price you bought it at, you don't want to be there. So that's why I give it that much. I give it half an ATR to prove to me if it is going to work. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. I'll just move on. If you're only risking 1% of your trading account, when you're wrong, every trade can just become one of the next 100 with little emotional or financial impact. Doesn't that sound like what I preach? You will survive losing streaks and increase your odds of long-term success. Man, I'm so glad we're going through this. I really hope this is useful, right? I feel like I'm getting a ton just rereading it with you. Goran says, TrendSpider doesn't have SRCL. They got a buy signal today. TrendSpider doesn't have SRCL. It doesn't. And I got a buy signal today. RCL. It must be a very, very thinly traded stock, Goran. Let's see the 30-day average volume. 1 million shares. I don't know. I don't know anything about this stock, but I do know that it not being in TrendSpider is quite of a shock. That's the first time I've seen of those. Dave says there's a place for the emergency numbers and the back and for your broker in the back of the trader or the back. Cannot read. There's a place for the emergency number for your broker on the first page of the Trader's Journal. That is smart. Inlock isn't in Schwab either, and that was a buy signal today. Inlock. Let's see if Inlock is over here. No match is found for Inlock. Interesting. Guys, I have no idea what's going on with those two, but either way. I want to say thank you so much for being an outlier. Thank you so much for coming to today's Outlier Trading Room. And for those of you who are just joining us, we'd like to talk politics, kind of break the ice, talk about the news that might be impacting the market. And that's why I like to start off there, right? I know that there's a lot of people who have been talking to politics lately, but I don't watch sports. I watch politics. I watch politics in the market. So that's what I do. I want to pay you back today and every day by helping you save time, make money, and start winning with less risk together as a team. Mahesh just told me that this deal is still active, and it may still be active until the end of the week. So if you don't already have the annual plan for 45% off, you are actually really super lucky. Let us know if you need anything in the Discord. First rule of Outlier is to tell everybody about Outlier and hit the like button. I know you're already subscribed, but this lets YouTube tell everybody as well. And have a fantastic afternoon. We will talk soon. Have a great day.